Hello everyone, V here and welcome back to Shadows over Loathing. We're slowly getting closer to the final chapter of the story, but first we have one thing to do, and that's right here on the boardwalk. A grouchy looking guy is standing under the shade of this tiny building's eaves. Say masquerade. He stands aside and gestures sullenly at the door. And there we go, this is a vampire bar. A vampire sits at a table alone, sullenly counting grains of salt. Of course, this trunk contains various items lost by various vampires. I didn't keep some. You got another skull cane, melee weapon, elegant cane with a spooky silver skull on the end. Shredded vampire pants. These pants make you want to beat up anyone who makes fun of your pants, and conveniently also make it very likely that you'll get a chance. And a vampire skull cap. Some vampires have intimidating widow's peaks, but the ones who don't wear these hats that make it look like they have one. Okay. This gassy vampire is tooting in and out of all the pipes. That was intentional, I'm 100% sure. These ladies are dancing halfway between the floor and the ceiling. Yeah, this window is closed, locked, glued shut, painted shut, and also has a sign on it that says "Do not open." Yeah, I wonder why. These vampires are having a conversation too terrifying to interrupt. Yeah, the bartender gives you a chilly look. How did you get in? You are no vampire. Oh, no, I'm just new. My fangs haven't grown in yet. Well, since you got past auto, I suppose that's good enough for me. I require information. Yes, I'm looking for Baron de Murska. We have matters to discuss. The Baron is a very important man and should not be pestered by a neophyte, but it is not like I could stop you. He's sitting right over there. He's the one with the vintage collar. Thanks. Yeah, these vampires are hovering about the chairs in a spooky way. Looks kind of comfortable, actually. Okay, let's step through. What do we have here? Okay, time to get rid of the mirror, because of course vampires hate mirrors. Yeah, the only slight problem is the collision detection on these things, so don't look for your, let's say, relation to the mirror itself, just look at the shadow that's underneath you and the mirror, and it's going to go, well, 99% okay. Okay, what do we have here? 91 years of bad luck. What do we have here? Throbbing ring of negative energy around the glass darkly. Let's close it. Because, once again, as I said, I do not want to have any shadow taint. Okay, the door says fiends. That's me. And there we go. Somehow there's a rave in this bathroom. Of course, there's Kilroy. And somehow this is the soundtrack that plays only in this place. I have no idea who came up with this, but hey, that's how it works. This toilet is pristine. It looks like it has never been used. There's a gun down in here. Maybe if you equipped a fishing pole, you could snag it. Okay, in that case, let's equip a fishing pole. Okay, and I need to also check. Okay, so this is my banjo, and now I need. Let's go with hot rod. The accurate fishing rod is. Yeah, you cannot use it. So I'm gonna try to flush the evidence. Toilet pistol. Okay, judging by the stain, this old revolver has spent time in more than one toilet over the years. This is literally. Yeah, the West of Loathing gun. We got the exact same thing in that game. Moxie plus stench damage. That's nice, but unfortunately, yeah, my banjo is way stronger. Okay, now I can flush it. Okay, hobo code, whatever you do not order the special. That's pretty ominous. Yeah, this place has hot and cold running blood. Can I fish in it? Yes, I can fish, but I wonder what I can pick up. Okay, thematic echo. Okay, consider this. How does this thing make you feel? It makes my blood boil, run cold, think, curdle. I faint at the sight of blood. Okay, boil, hot-blooded, hot armor, plus 5 maximum health points. You got a fever somewhere in the 100 to 104 degree range. Isn't this like a normal temperature range for a human body? Like, I don't know exactly, I operate in Celsius. But yeah, okay, let's take a look at this. I'll have this special. He now mixes a cocktail that appears to be made of equal parts blood and nothing, blood almond. Imagine one of those fun cocktails with dry ice in it, except instead of rum, it's made of blood, and instead of carbon dioxide bubbling out of it, it's black nothingness. It'll definitely get you wrecked, though maybe not in the sense you were hoping for. Extra maximum health points, spooky armor. Nice, but I don't think I'll be drinking it. Okay, this elaborately colored vampire sips languidly from his glass, projecting an air of smug nobility. Baron de Auric de Musca, I presume? Well, aren't you the presumptuous one? Indeed, I am Baron de Musca, and you are... Okay, Vivian Taylor, Vivian... Let's go with direct. He shrugs indifferently. It's a pleasure to meet me. What's your business? Well, there are too many vampires in here to just attack you, and this is going to take a subtle touch. Excuse me for a moment. I could go for a subtle touch, or I could just let the entire place air out a little bit. You get a firm grip on the window, take a deep breath, grit your teeth, and heave. The sash is free of its various locks and adhesives and slams upward, allowing the room to fill with brilliant white sunlight. Let's just ignore the fact that it's been gloomy and overcast all week. All the vampires inside the bar, Baron de Auric de Musca included, scream and burst into flames, quickly disintegrating into little piles of grey ash. Hell yeah. That was pretty cool. Yeah, the Baron's golden fang lies on the table in a pile of ash. Okay. A lot of mob blood has passed through this over the years, so it has sentimental value to Dante as well as regular old gold value. That's nice. So now let's just get out of here. Let's just get out of here, deal with this. You hear someone clapping and turn to see a man in an expensive suit leaning against a nearby lamppost, flying by 2 burly goons. Even if you didn't recognize him from your bedroom 4 days ago, you'd know him as soon as he opened his mouth. I'm marvelous, outcome, Vivian, truly marvelous. You're accomplished as found with finesse and aplomb in equal measurement. Hi, Don. You hand down Toblerone Baron's gold fang, and he examines it briefly before tucking it away in his jacket pocket. He snaps his fingers, and the 2 goons pat their pockets, becoming more and more flustered, until finally one of them finds what he's looking for and hands it to Don Toblerone with a relieved sigh. Don looks at them askance, then rolls his eyes and hands you the object, a small black velvet ring box, which proves to contain a gold signet ring. The crest on it appears to be a silhouette of a penguin. Mob Capo signet, a friendly mob guy will aid you in combat. A solid gold signet ring with a silhouette of a penguin engraved on. Okay, what's this? This, my newly promotionated comrade, is the seal of our boss. This ring identifies you as a capo regime within the organization, with all the privileges therein to which you are hereby entitled. Wow, like what? The details of your specific role, salary, and etc. are still to be determined. You will be contacted in a week or so with further information. In the meantime, howsoever, wearing this ring will guarantee you the aid of one of our operatives whenever you find yourself embroiled in an altercation, whether melee or gunwise. Okay, shake his hand. Welcome to the family, Vivian Taylor. It will be an honor and a privilege both to be working with you in the future. Well, gosh, I don't know what to say. Thanks, Don. Don Toblerone and the 2 goons sing a spirited verse of "For they're a jolly good fellow," and then tip their hands and saunter away. Aw, shucks. In a way, it's pretty cool because right now I have the grand token of the Hobo Empire, and I have this ring, Mob Capo Signet, which technically means that I should be able to have 2 guys as an extra help over and over in every single battle. Okay, letter opener and all that stuff, but there's something that I want to take a look at. I have the letter opener, but there should be a lot of... Oh, all the shortcuts say I can... Open it back recording your insurance claim. The funds have been disbursed to employer on record at the time of this writing, the Ocean City Watchful Eye. The letter is dated April 18th, 1805. Did they even have insurance back then? I'm going to actually go to the Watchful Eye and check it. But also, shouldn't I be having like a ton of junk mail? Never mind. Maybe that's in miscellany? Coupon for free meat. Okay, that's not it. Ah, there it is, junk mail. Okay, now I can open it. Perfume sample. Stainless steel business card. Lovely. Some sample business cards from a company that prints things on incredibly sharp little pieces of metal. This is actually a fruit advertisement. Oh, nice. +1 to everything. That's actually pretty damn cool stuff. You get to basically collect this stuff throughout the entire game, and at the last episode, at the last chapter on my last day, you will be able to... There we go. Oh, nice. I have 11 of everything. Let's check potions. You'll be able to open this at the last day, and that's actually pretty damn awesome considering that stuff in there is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Like, the more federal crimes you manage to commit and ransack everybody's mailboxes. Sorry, I was looking for the right word. Now let's go with the bean. Yeah, the more cool stuff you will have at the very end when it's really needed. Now let's go with this. Okay, 9 all stats, 10 meat. I need to use these 3 baseballs to knock over that rope. Or wooden ducks punch a hole through a sheet of 3/4 inch plywood with a bad fist. Plywood will be your bad fist, and translate a randomly selected page of the brothers Karamazov from the... Okay, I am back after this sudden break. I'm really sorry, I have no idea what happened over there. For a moment, my software stopped recording over there. I have no idea what happened and why it happened. I'm really sorry. But yeah, I managed to get to the last. I'm really sorry about this. Like I said, I have no idea what happened. I just got a message beep and that's about it. So I hope you can forgive me. But let's continue with this. Look who's back, kid. I'm truly impressed with how never get anyone who get all the way to level 5 to the game of skills. Are you ready for the next challenge? Maybe. You've got it in the bag. All you have to do is explain the Copenhagen interpretation of the probabilistic nature of quantum wave functions while climbing down a 10-foot grease rope ladder head first and sink a basketball free throw with its iron shot pot. Ready? Okay. You cradle the heavy iron shot in the crook of your arm as you lower yourself down the first rungs of the rope ladder, carefully hooking your ankles around the rungs. Okay, so quantum mechanics is basically a set of mathematical equations that can be used to predict the results of experiments performed at the subatomic level. But it can't predict the outcome definitely, only probabilistically, giving a range of possible outcomes referred to as the wave function. The act of actually performing the experiment, measuring the system in question, collapses the wave function down to a single result because, 1 second, let's shortcut. There we go. Because the act of measurement interacts with the system in a way that can be ignored. Nearly there. One can say that since all the potential outcomes existed simultaneously prior to the measurement, the act of measurement is what causes the single outcome. You reach the ground in a handstand, unhook your ankles, and flip to right yourself. A pretty basic explanation, but serviceable. And that was an excellent throw. Alright, you get a brass ring. Okay, what's this? Scabrous ring that renders you immune to bleeding. Nice. The ring makes it look like your finger got cut off and sloppily reattached. Castanet ring. The miniature castanets on the string add a gentle little bit of percussion when you shake your hands. Bonus for jazz hands. Okay, neither of these is made of brass. It's just an expression. Hooray! I don't think... Yep, I am unable to deal with the last one. Kinda sucks, but yeah. Anyways, we got everything done over here, so time to head to Government Valley. Yeah. Finale. Sinister enough of government work, of course. Yeah, and this place is terrible. Okay. A telephony facility. Anything over here? Nope. Ordinary phone, we'll ignore it. It's made of some strange kind of metal I've never seen before. It's so pink, but still somehow glowing from within, like a massive book that swallowed a candle. It's cool to the touch, but it radiates kind of warmth. This doesn't feel like a typical public art project. Why build it in an otherwise abandoned area? Okay, so... Of course, I have to fight the guys. There's a lot of those. First thing first, this. Now the curse. And you know what? I can let my familiar deal with this. Government chief, yeah. Tiny Trixie, the maniacal doll, attacks enemies and causes them to bleed. Nice, but I prefer my Hex Rock. Okay, now federal prison. Okay, nestled amid the ashes of an old city park is found a statue of some shadowy functionary named Dark Noel. Vandalized, struck by sudden inspiration, you sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top of the statue and leave the rest of the world to the pigeons. Nice. Hey, there's weird shit happening with all the telephones over here. And they look sad. Oh, they're not bothering anybody. But this isn't the one. I don't want to talk to them. I understand. I'll burn the telephone then. Wait, what? Yeah, every single telephone like that. -3 specific ones. We already saw one. Okay, prison hat. Nice. This place doesn't seem to have very good security. The door isn't even locked. So, let's pop right in. Hey, small wonder they kicked this guy out of the cell block. Hi, I'm Vivian. I'm Crimsley, Jim Crimsley. Nice sounds. Thanks. Takes a lot of practice to get good at a harmonica. Of course, all I got is time. Any chance you want to part with that honky horn? And go back to playing just harmonica? Well, let's swap it for a cracker. Just a cracker? Are you that hungry? Oh, you knew. It ain't my job to show fish ropes. Go ask Tetley in 1A. He shows ropes to fish? That's a weird job. I guess I can't think of anything to ask you around. See you around. Later? Okay, let's go to cell block A, and it's this dude. Hi, I'm Vivian. Hey, I'm Tetley. You wanna buy a cracker? You selling crackers? How much? 300 meat. Cracker? Your crackers. You're out here, huh? Look, crackers are what we call gift certificates to the prison chiropractor. We use them as currency. Oh, okay, that makes sense, I guess. Tetley fans out a handful of gift certificates and weigh them out here. So, wanna buy a cracker? Yeah, is it true you show ropes to fish? What? Where'd you hear that? Who's the dirty rattlebug that's been spreading filthy rumors about me? Okay, Jim Crimsley. Crimsley, eh? Well, if I get my hands on him, I'll pay someone else to get her hands on him. Okay, so, buy a cracker. Thanks for your patronage, pal. Okay, prison chiropractor gift certificate. I'll buy a couple of them. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, just in case. Hey there, I'm Vivian. I'm Rima, what do you want? Guess I can't think of anything to ask you. See you around. Okay, whatever. Cell is empty. Hey, Vivian, sup? Can you teach me to do that? Did you have to lift a dumbbell? Yeah, sure, for a cracker. Okay, that's a deal. Okay then, he passes one of his dumbbells to the boss and shows how to bend your elbow. 1 muscle plus 3 melee weapon attacks. Great, thanks. Yes, I can't think of anything to ask you. See you around. Why? I'm Vivian. Hey Vivian, I'm Clive. Nice sword, thanks. Technically, it's a Japanese-style katana. Huh. How did you get a katana in here? I made it in a prison machine shop. I would have pulled it up license plate. Can I buy your katana? Well, okay, I guess I can make another one. I'll swap it to you for a jack of fluffies. Come again? A pack of cigarettes. Fair enough, there you go. I wasn't really expecting you to have them. Well, deal's a deal. Take good care of her. Thanks, I will. Did you want your katana back? You seem regretful. Thanks, but no, it's okay. I'm already making plans for an even better one. Maybe even Odachi or Nagamaki? Okay, so a weeb. Nice. Yes, I can't think of anything to ask you later. There also should be Molly's partner in this prison. Okay, Hanky Horn, here you go, gift certificate, deals a deal. Deals your mysticality and physical damage to all enemies and raise your team's stats, nice. But at least right now he's not, yeah, honking that thing. I don't know, Santiago arrested some air. Smart for being in jail. How's it going, William? I'm Wilmer. Guess I can't think of anything to ask you. Okay. This person is, what is she doing? Hi, I'm Vivian. Nice to meet you. I'm Donna. What are you doing here? Levitating an orange? Neat. Tell me more about your hovering orange. Well, since it's so boring in here, I've been exercising my imagination, and it turns out if you get really good at imagining things, you can trick your brain into believing they're real. And if you get really good at that, you can make them actually real. Wow, geez. Wait, why are you still in jail cell? Well, this boss suddenly disappearing is a little harder to imagine than floating orange. I see. Can you teach me your imagination thing? I imagine so, but this kind of power is potentially dangerous. I'll never valuable. Sure, of course. But you seem okay. I'll teach you in exchange for a cracker. Great. She puts you through a variety of imagination training exercises, mentally rotating cubes, and so on, until you've finally gotten the hang of it. Wow, thanks. Now I just have to find an orange. It works on other things too. Yeah, apples? Whoa, 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 don't aim too high there. Okay. Guess I can't think of anything else. But I think this is... Nothing, okay. I just wait outside to shouldn't let the guards lay peepers on me. Fair enough, but like I said, I'm pretty sure this is the one. Okay, it's unclear how this guy could be cooking food in a cell. I'm Lanford. Are you cooking? Yeah, dude. Wanna sell me that spatula? Not really, but I do need a box of coffin nails. Cigarettes? Yeah, to help pass the flavor of whatever this is I've been cooking. Okay, here you go. That's why we bought them. Alright, I suppose I can always get on a spatula. Here you go. Thank you. How's your food? Actually smokes, I have no idea. Guess I can't think of anything else, of course. Or maybe it's this one? Because I mean, yeah, there's yet another lady over here. But one at a time. Hi, I'm Vivian. I'm Mitch, a pretty good whistler. Thanks, I've been practicing ever since I swapped my harmonica to Crimsley. What'd you get in return? Can of stash wax? Sold it to some other guy though. Huh, okay. Can you teach me how to whistle? I can, in exchange for a cracker, of course. Alright, here you go. Great, okay, it's pretty easy. Just put your lips together, murder a guy who's sleeping in your car, and then get sentenced to life in prison and blow. Can I skip that middle bit? Sure, I guess, but that's what worked for me. Moxie, rage weapon attacks, mouth cork. Prevent yourself from whistling. What's the cork for? In case you want to stop things. Okay, I'm pretty sure this dude is dead. Vivian? How's it going? What are you in for? Are you okay, bud? Yeah, I don't think he's... Yeah, the prisoner in this cell just stares dead-eyed. Ignoring and doing it really hard. Lewis, wanna send me that shit? I suppose I could. I'll swap it for a pack of 6. Deal. Thanks, you're gonna be much trickier to juggle. Okay, artisanal shiv. Lovely. Yes, I can't think of anything else, but we have this. This dark-haired young woman glares at you while twirling a sharp toothbrush in her fingers. What are you looking at, Robinette? I'm square your mouse calling for ya. I couldn't help noticing your tattoo. Is that a heart with N plus M in it? I'll put the shiv in your notices. Go milk a dark peeper. Okay, you're definitely Nancy. Nancy McGill, right? What are you, Slapman? A gazer? Or just a scissor bill? Not any of those, probably. I'm a friend of Molly's. Oh, huh. Well, if you know Molly and you ain't full of holes, you must be alright. What's the score, pal? I think I should let Molly explain that. She's here? Well, what am I listening to your teeth rattle for? I'll go get her. You head back outside and wake Molly over, then escort her to cell block 3. Molly, baby! Noodles, oh, I'm so glad we weren't too late. I asked you not to call me that in public. What are you doing here? We agreed you wouldn't visit, cause of the false catch side of you. We ain't seen a single hack, and anyway, I had to bring you this cake. Ah, you brought me a cake and your sweet potato. Wait, is this an Octopath special? I don't get it. I only got about a year left. I mean, yeah, it was being a pile, but they didn't tell you? They're transferring you to Bridgewater. The color rings out of Nathan's face. Bridgewater? Why? I only stabbed... She pauses to count on her fingers. 3 guards and 5 inmates, or 6 if you count the guy whose face I peeled off. Okay, I guess I could see it. The transfer could be any day now. You gotta bust out of here tonight. Okay, yeah, right after lights out. I'll have to go ground and lie low for a few weeks. But I'll get in touch after that. Okay, you better make it. If you get caught or hurt, yeah. Hey now, come on, button. You know me. Turn off the waterworks. I'll be fine as a frog here. You better scrap before one of the few remaining guards comes by. Here, it ain't your birthday yet, but I made you a little something. Nancy holds up a fine chain necklace with a Tommy gun bullet hanging from it. She passes around Molly's neck, and you look away awkwardly as the two of them share a kiss through the bars. Nice. You gonna be okay? Yeah, Nancy's right. I don't gotta worry. She's tough as nails. Tough as anything. She's a little scary, frankly. She peeled Guy's face off. Haha, yeah, that's little Nancy McGill for you. And I thought you were crazy. Maybe I was right. Ah, sugar, there's one thing you should understand about me by now is that I don't like getting bored. Yeah, I guess not. Okay. That's everything in this chiropractor. Yeah. Hello, I'm Dr. Dixley. How can I help you? Are you the prison physician? Close. I'm the prison chiropractor. What's the difference? Well, a physician treats ailments through specific medications and treatments tailored to that ailment. A chiropractor fixes everything by pushing on your spine. Huh, interesting. Yeah, can I get an adjustment? Yeah, there you go. A cracker. This is safe, right? I'm a little nervous about letting someone mess with the bones that contain the nerves that let my head communicate with all the rest of my body. Look, just because this science was developed by a man who didn't believe in vaccines or even germs and claimed the techniques were given to him by a ghost during a seance, and also I don't have any kind of actual legal medical degree, that doesn't make me a quack, okay? I know what I'm doing. Plus, science and science are basically the same word. Well adjusted. Okay. Your spine is exactly where it's supposed to be, for once. Well, I do feel better, thank you. Bones and things that can be wrong with them, of course. Anything in a mask hole? Prison slot, ew. One slot per customer. Hi, I'm Nora. Nice spice jar. I need this one so I can keep eating here without dying of boredom. I have a similar gadget I can sell you, though. Hey, I made it in prison machine shop, but I decided I prefer a traditional shaker. I'll give it to you for a cracker. Of course. Automatic peppermill, deal your muscle and health damage to all enemies and heal your team for the same amount once per fight. Yeah, maybe I can trade this for some decent food. Okay, anything for Warden? Absolutely not. Do I want to mess with these guys? I'm Bruno. Okay, so nothing. Vinny, I like a weird ball. First time I've ever heard that. Yeah, I hadn't been discussed we haven't got a basketball hoop. Yeah, any chance I could buy that nice thing? I'll give it... I don't have a cracker. I'll have to buy one cracker and then... That should be more than enough. One more cracker, thank you very much. And hopefully that will be enough. There you go. Nice, and here you go. Deal your muscle and physical damage 3 times in a row. Nice. Can't think of anything else, so let's go on. Hi there, I'm Moppy. Huh, weird coincidence that your parents named you that, and here I am now mopping. It's a nickname, people call me that because I like to mop floors. Oh, I assumed it was gonna be a comedic reversal. Should I have a nickname? I feel like a hit prison nickname like yours would help me fit in. Well, I'm happy to suggest one if you want. Okay, hit me. So, fuck you, dude. Mittens, that's better. If you have any information, Mittens, just ask me. Over here, all kind of stuff, okay? But the first one, dude, for real, screw you. Okay, so where do I need to go? To the IRS. Oh, okay, so now we have this weird eldritch monstrosity. Okay, I still have 2 action points. And I'm definitely going to make use of them. Much better, thanks. At the end you get so overpowered. Yeah, good, interrupt. Do you like to play with matches, Cola? Heck no. This is not the one. I understand, but no, I want this telephone. Then I will get it for you. Yeah, this stuff is weird, like for real weird. I never knew what to do out of this. Okay, some extra meat. Take a deep breath and sell your nerves. Clearly this is a trap. It's possible that you did underpay your taxes by 13 meat, but to get a notice about it that now is too much of a coincidence. Darren's Poindexter is up to something, but if you don't step through that door, you'll never find out what. Yeah, this is terrible. A bewildering array of forms. Grab one. I usually pick at random. Yeah, I'm here about this overdue tax notice. Nothing to do with me, sorry. Okay, who do I need to talk to then? Someone else. I'm sure about this overdue tax notice. Do you need it stapled? And now it's only 1 page. Can't help you then. Okay, let's check this remittance. Can I help you? I sure hope so. I got this notice in the mail about overdue taxes. Hold up to the glass, please. Yes, alright. You'll need to file the proper form with your payment. I was afraid of that. Blank forms are in the rack on the left side of the room. Which one do I need? Oh, it'll be clear from the serial number. Sure, I already got this one. An incomprehensibly complicated tax form. Okay, let's shred it and get whatever else we can. Okay, ask him to fold your form. No, attack him. I'll do all of this stuff myself. You can either play bureaucracy, but that's annoying, or you can just, you know... Or you can just defeat the guys and do it yourself. Folded. Nice, thank you. And once again, attack, because these guys, the reason why I'm doing is because these guys will have a ton of extra, let's say, issues. They are going to have a ton of extra issues with you, with this crap. They will refuse to do stuff. They will say one will need an even number at the end, other will need a normal number at the end. I mean, even, uneven, okay. Basically, they will constantly contradict each other. So, you can either fight them and do... You can either do all of the stuff that they need. There is, like, this weird paper here, I guess you could say, at the very end of this room. I'll show you in a bit. And use it to deal with this in a relatively, let's say, peaceful way. Or we can just fight these guys minus... Yeah, the form is singed. You begin to carefully singe the edges of the document, but almost immediately the whole form bursts into flame and is destroyed. You look over to the left and notice a box of magically flame retardant staples on the stapler's desk. Unbelievable. Okay, so I have to do it once again. Form, whatever it is, okay. Fold. I forgot to staple them. Stapled and folded. Okay, now it's singed. Carefully wave the lighter around the edges of the document, blackening the nicely singed notary. Attack him once again. These guys are getting technically, you could say progressively more and more difficult. Unless you have a nice set of area attacks. In this case, it's super easy. And anything, just a little bit louder. Excellent. Okay, notary. The notary is gone, and you have no idea how to use his complex notarizing tools. Okay, and yeah, this is the thing I was talking about. Slice a bit off your form. This is the only way to do it without fighting. Okay, the statue depicts Terence in the thick of solving a heroic equation, calculator in one hand, ledger in the other. Open cap of marker pen, you scroll a few numbers and symbols on both until Terence calculations are mathematically invalid. This is fundamentally anathema to an accountant. This statue crumbles into dust. Lovely. Okay, and now the person who could sign this stuff for me. Hey, are you a notary public? Nope, not me. I got my Muppin certificate instead. Right, I was hoping you would tell me who is the notary in public. Got drunk and notarized the whole pack of Raccoon City, had a good in the town office. Okay, I guess I can think of anything. So, yeah, one of these guys here is a notary. Are you a notary public? Matter of fact, I am. You got something needs notarized? Yeah, this form. You swear this is real and you are who you claim you are? I do. I hereby notarize this form on this date and in this place under the terms of my office as a notary public for the Capital District. Thanks. That's all I need. IRS Central Office once again, and once again a fight with really weird looking enemies. Once again, curse, saxophone, and just plunk. Ballet slippers, ballerina tea, shredded tutu, Casper the Nutcracker. Nice. I find it kind of redundant to gather familiars in the last chapter, but I guess if you'd want to do all the side quests, like you just blaze through everything till the very end and then decided to do the side quest, I guess that makes sense. Okay, I cannot attack her, just turn in your form, there we go. That will be 13 meat plus an 11% fine and 11% processing fee, which comes to 15.86 meat, rounded up to 16 meat. Just toss it to me over the glass, please. There you go. Payment received, Vivian Taylor, 16 meat. Now just take your form over there to the right, through the giant hovering mouth. What did you say? The fluorescent lights flicker, all the clerks vanish. You turn slowly to the right and see a giant demonic mouth hovering in the air a few yards away. Yeah, this thing. Let's hop right through. The demonic mouth spits you out into a sparsely decorated office, assuming bookshelves filled with identical ledgers counts as a decoration. The whole room is sterile and boring and reminds you of Terence Poindexter, partly because of the sterile boringness, but also he's standing in it. Is it finally time to deal with this jerk once and for all? Yes, it is. Okay. Vivian Taylor, you've fallen into my trap right on schedule. Brave words considering how I kicked your ass in the swamp, and in doing so you taught me everything I needed to know about you. Your moves, your tricks, your tactics, you have no surprise left for me. Well, if you think I'm gonna switch allegiances and join your Dark Crusade or whatever, you've got another thing coming. I wasn't going to ask, I despise you. Fine, I despise you too, as expected. Okay, fast, talking for a sneak attack. You hold out your empty hands and take a few casual steps forward. Look, let's not be hasty, we aren't so different, you and me. I'm sure we can sell this like thoughtful people. A thin knife drops out of your sleeve and into your hand as you quickly stab at Poindexter's liver. But his liver isn't there, he stepped to the side before your attack even started. He smiles thinly at you. You slash at him, but his hand is already moving. He taps your wrist, deflecting the attack. Your knife stabs his wooden desk and sticks there. You may fancy yourself a shrewd operator, Taylor, but I am master of calculation. To me, you are utterly predictable. Okay, snatch the pistol. In a quick twist of your wrist, you snap the gun out of his hand and into yours. Grimly, you press it into his chest and pull the trigger. It clicks empty. A sharp sensation causes you to look down. His other hand holds a knife just barely pricking the skin of your liver. His eyes glitter darkly, utterly predictable. You lean backward out of reach. He smiles again and twirls the knife between his fingers like a pen. Well, there's one he could can't predict, Poindexter. Jazz. Jazz? Improvisation? You think improv is unpredictable? Name a funny animal. Well, penguin, you thought too long for it to be monkey. I was gonna say giraffe. Jazz is as predictable as anything else that consists of numbers, fool. And everything consists of numbers. Oh yeah? Number this. You try to let your mind go blank and feel the vibe of the fight. Then, deciding so quickly that it's hardly a decision at all, you pull the empty pistol at his groin. Poindexter catches the gun and casually puts it back in his jacket pocket. I'll put this in simple terms for you, Vivian Taylor. You cannot touch me. You're an open ledger to me, and it's one I've already audited. I've calculated your every move down to the second decimal. Well, Poindexter, if regular jazz can't stop you and improvisational jazz can't stop you, I'll just have to invent a new kind of jazz that you can't predict. Impossible. There is no such thing. There is now completely random jazz. You pull a pair of dice out of your pocket, step forward and slam them on the desk. What? Ridiculous! Roll the dice. Roll 3 and 3 for a total of 6. You feint left, right, left, and then pop him one right in the nose. Doesn't seem like you broke it, but you sure felt it. Roll again. Nice, 12. You knee Poindexter in the groin. Ding, critical hit. He doubles over groaning. You think you can defeat me with a simple table of possible outcomes? I can predict every entry. His eyes turn completely black. Tendrils of shadow drift out of him as a vein throbs on his temple. Your third attack will be your last. Roll again. Once again, you ignore the dice. Poindexter dodges an attack that doesn't come, and you're waiting right there for him. You grab him by the collar. What? Jazz isn't the attacks you make, Poindexter. It's the attacks you don't make. You smash your forehead into the bridge of his nose with a loud crunch. Dark blood fountains into the air as he collapses backwards to the floor. You're right, you know. My third attack was my last. Get out of here. Leave this place, this country, and don't ever come back. You can't predict what will happen if you do. His eyes have returned to normal once again, defiant even in defeat. I suppose so. I hope you're proud of yourself beating up an old man. You started it, I finished it. And yes, I am proud of myself. Perhaps, but it needn't to be finished just yet. After all, you haven't seen my second form. Second form? That's right, I'll be more than happy to show it to you. You will have to fight it, of course, in regular combat, no takebacks. But if you don't, you'll never see it. You'll never know. You know, fuck it, I'm going to fight you anyways. Looks like a penis. Okay, now it looks... No, it still kinda looks like a... Gross, yeah. Pretty much. Okay, let's deal with this easy. Curse, a knife in the dark. How much moxie does he have? Okay, so let's go with this one. And another timp, and this how much is going to... Yet defeated on turn 1. Is there anything? Okay, got an item, key to the Black House. There isn't any information about Uncle Murray in here, you can tell because it would be clearly labeled and filed under M. You do find important looking key files under K-I-L though. Little slab of weird metal chained to a souvenir keychain shaped like the Black House. Fair enough. Yeah, assuming this is a two-way horrible shadow mall. Wanna go back to the IRS office? Sure, why not? What do I care? There's a couple of extra places over here, but first I'm gonna go to the Black House. Okay, what the rig? Mark has stopped in front of a wall that has been plastered with several broad-sheet posters. The illustrations is of a sultry blonde woman making a kissy face at the viewer, with a battleship on fire in the background. Loose woman sink ships. No dancing, no short skirts, no obscene language. Wasn't this loose lips sink ships? Molly, unexpectedly, says nothing. With gritted teeth, she ejects the round from her Tommy gun, opens the cover, and does something inside with a knife. What are you doing? Give me a minute, sugar. I'm calling the rudest words I know onto all my bulls. I'll show them how to sink a damn ship. 3 additional times on the Tommy gun spray. Lovely, thank you. And let's pop right in. Yeah, you were too late, of course. Only for a little bit, but here we go. Uncle Murray. Uncle Murray, are you okay? Surprisingly fine, kid. I'm not sure why they didn't just murder me, but I'm glad they didn't. Me too. You got to stop the president from doing whatever her crazy plan is. They're right, we do. But wait a minute, what's that? What's what? You got something behind your ear. The same trick. Don't ever change, Uncle Murray. Okay, what happened to you? Well, Jessica told you I've been hunting a series of cursed artifacts, right? Yes, that's how I found you. We've been using the detective trying to find more of them to try and follow your trail. So Charles got a thing working finally? That sure would have saved me some trouble. Anyway, a fella sold me a pen that could only write obscenities. Turned out, with a little coaxing, you could also get it to write its real owner's current address, which was here. I wrote that letter to you before coming to stake out a place. They caught me while I was snooping around. Okay, who is this president woman? I don't know much about her, just that her name's Margaret something. 11 years ago, her barn exploded. That's where all the artifacts came from, I think. There was stuff that was in the barn at the time. That must have been one heck of an explosion. No kidding, 5 years later, she's city controller, and now I guess she's shadow president? Whatever that is. What is she planning? Wish I knew. She built some kind of crazy machine, but I don't know exactly what it's for. With the amount of shadow energy she's collecting to power it, it can't be anything good. How do we stop her? Well, she set up 3 big, weird islands or obelisks or something. I think the function is to pull shadow energy directly out of wherever it comes from and pump it into the machine here in Black House. So we should destroy those? Yep, ideally before her machine does whatever it's meant for doing. Okay, destroy 3 things, good. It's nice to have a specific straightforward goal for once. I think maybe I can count it one of them. Not far from here, yeah? Somewhere in Government Valley. Past that, I'm not sure. Yes, that was all my questions. Well, all the immediately relevant ones. Then we better get moving. Okay. So first, telephony facility. And of course, another fight. But on a good note, I guess you could kind of say that I'm overpowered. By now I think I'm overpowered. And the funniest thing is you don't even have to use all that power in the last encounter. Hello? Oh wait, hey, is that Vivian? This is Rufus. Rufus, how did you know I was here? I didn't, just a coincidence. My sibling hunting device calculated that as best spot to open a wormhole to their location. Since there's a payphone there, I figured I'd call ahead to check. Wormhole? I thought it was a communications device. Well, it turns out the Pearl is crazy powerful, and wormholes are a form of communication according to... There's a crazy shadow Pearl thing here. I could use some help dealing with it. That explains some of the readings. Hang on, I'll be right there. That's actually mighty impressive. And little black Rufus. One completely destroyed. Now, Vista Hill? I don't know. Is this? Yep, that's it. That's another one. This payphone is ringing. Ah, Vivian, don't toddle on vocalizing. I've become attenuated to the fact that you're a necessity of some assassination. How did you know where I was? You're one of the family now. If you know something, we know something. I sure hope that isn't how it works, but as it happens, I really could use some help here. I will send assistance immediately, and arrival will be fought with. Great, thanks. So, that's the second help. It's good to have mob on your good side. I like to be on the good side of a mob, I guess. One way or another, that's the second destroyed. Yeah, this twisted island has been destroyed. Fair enough, let's beat it. Commune with a stone, sword and grease. What do we have here? Yep, and we are additionally whistling because it's a custom music that's once again getaway sticks. Handful of popcorn, thank you. That's once again getaway sticks just in a different tone, and that's an infinite fight. Hello? It's for you. That isn't them. I am there in the house now. I'm there with them. This is not them. I'll burn the telephone then. Wait, who am I? Ah, and once again. Okay, Civic Ballet Theater. Okay, vandalize the statue once again. What do we have here? A freshly abandoned snack stuck in the recess of this concrete bench. Shadow hot dog and shadow beer. Nope, I'm not eating them. I'm not eating them. I do not want to have shadow taint. Hello? What will you do on a rainy day when your house is on fire? How will you get out? When you're in the train, who will save you? In all cases, I will simply panic. This isn't them. I understand. Do you want this telephone or shall I burn it? Give it to me. At least tell me who you are, either of you. Yeah, it's kinda weird. I never knew what to do with this stuff. Forbidden building, the crumbling ruin of all government office. You poke around, okay, we got some meat, thanks. And that's the last one. Vivian, this is Johnny, the Hobo King. My secret Hobo King powers all alerted me that you might be in need. How did you know what number to call? I just picked up my phone and it connected me to you. Is that not how phones work? Well, anyway, yes, I do need your some help. This big weird killer thing here that needs to be destroyed. No problem, I'll send a crew of hobos immediately. Thanks. And this is why you make friends. This is why you make friends with everyone you meet. And crash and burn. Thank you. Okay, so basically, we could go right over there to the black house, but yeah, go inside this building on purpose, DMV, it won't budge, it probably just as well we don't even have a car. The thing is that DMV, and I think army recruitment is a place, these are places for different classes. So Jazz Agent has IRS, one has DMV, and the final one has the army recruitment. I do not exactly remember which one has which. Like, I think Cheese Wizard has DMV, and the Pigskinner has army recruitment. Okay, that's to bother you? What? Having to make all these cell phone calls? Oh, listen, it's them. I'm doing the second one. Hello. They look sad. Oh, they're not bothering anybody. Let's run them and see what they do. Hang up. Well, flaming face. Okay, army recruitment. Okay, with sinister hissing, the shadows of nearby alley coalesce into the palms of 3 shadow policemen. Looks like you better get ready for a fight. Don't sweat it, sugar, I got this one. Molly mows down the cop's silhouette with a burst from a Tommy gun, and they burst into wisps of black smoke that quickly disperse. So, never mind it. Thanks, Molly. Okay, any soda left? The cat said this isn't your father's cola, which is a bold move considering how many of today's soda drinkers lost their fathers in the cola wars. Yeah, it won't budge. And once again, you're out of questions. Will you make a guess now? I don't have any more questions or guesses. Can I guess? It is me, I'm a dream date. What? I have been your dream date the whole time. I hang up, will you find me? Yes, I know where you are. Congratulations, I think. Silence, the line is dead. Maybe that's for the best. You've heard too much. Ask not for whom the phone rings. Okay, what? This rock doesn't belong here. Okay, that sounded... Okay, so I guess this would be the last fight. I know that it's been an hour of this episode, and this one weird hiccup that I had with recording. Once again, sorry for that. But I know that this is basically the end of the game, so I'm not wrapping this up just to have like 5 minutes left in the next episode. So yeah, this will be a little bit longer, along with the credit sequence, but that's it. You rush into the foyer of the Black House. Murray leads you up a corridor and down a flight of stairs to a huge basement laboratory. The room is dominated by a massive writhing tier in space, seemingly confined to an unbritanium frame. The president is typing furiously at a computer console nearby, but she turns around momentarily when you enter. She glares at you, practically hissing. I knew I should have trusted that idiot Poindexter to deal with you. I noticed the shadow flow was dropped back to ambient levels. I assumed that was your doing. Yeah, I busted your weird pillars, and now I'm busting you. Oh no, I'd be real upset if you weren't too late. Oh, nuts. Yeah, nuts to you. The portal is open, and after I make these last few calibrations, the Emperor of all Shadows will be summoned to this plane to kneel before me. I will rule this universe not as the President of Shadows, but the Empress. Wow, that's a much bigger goal than I was expecting. Yeah, well, go big or go home, right? Anyway, don't try to stop me. Without my attention at this console to keep the reaction steady, this thing could implode and turn the whole tri-state area into a smoking crater. Geez, okay, well, mind if I have a look around? Sure, whatever, just don't pester me unless you want everyone who ever heard of you to die. Okay. This desk has seen a lot, especially recently. You're scared that if you interrupt her, the entire universe might blow up, or at least the tri-state area. I mean, technically I could just get some stuff done over here, but I don't care. Yeah, Murray's holding a weird something? What's that? An unbritanium bomb. I cobbled together from parts I found lying around when you were distracting the president. Good job. Oh, no problem. Yeah, that was intentional. But what's your plan exactly? From what she said, it sounds pretty bad to mess with this stuff. She's trying to summon something, right? I figure by applying enough pressure at just the right time, we can reverse the flow and make it an out portal instead of an in portal. Ah, I get it. So it'll suck her out into space and no more problem. Well, not exactly. Or rather, yeah, but that's not the end of it. We also have to take care of whatever's waiting on the other side of that portal. Oh. Oh, you're saying I have to go through and fight it, aren't you? I don't know if it'll be a literal fight or what, but yeah, that's the long and short of it, kiddo. This is the end game, and there's no coming back from this. Are you ready? Well, actually, let me be more explicit. This is literally the end game. Once I set off this bomb and you go through that portal, you can't come back. End game ends one way or another. But nothing gets saved after you go, so you can reload back to here and keep playing afterwards. I don't really understand what you mean by that. It's okay, kiddo. It wasn't really you I was talking to. Thanks, Murray. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it. I got all the quests done. Okay, it was good seeing you again, kiddo. I think I got this bump wide so I can toss it and set it off from here by overloading this other cruise it, which hopefully won't end up getting me killed. But whatever happens, you gotta jump through right away. I don't know how much time you'll have. Jeez, okay, be careful. You too, kiddo. Ready? Yeah. Okay. Here goes nothing. Yeah, hell yeah, fire in a hole. She is insane. Resolution. You and Molly and the president and the machines and a sizable chunk of the floor appear in the middle of a pale void lit by just the right light of stars that burned out uncountable eons ago. Ah, no, what did you do? Throw a little monkey wrench into your plans. Don't try to act cool about this. You don't have the slightest idea what kind of power you're messing with. Oh yeah, like what? Welcome, playthings. You look over to the right, where you see a hovering swarm of giant mouths and eyes. You get a feeling that this is your brain's best attempt to render what you're actually seeing in a way that won't simply annihilate your mind. In particular, that. Oh. Was this whole deal just a giant monkey's paw? Like, did I achieve ultimate power but also get cursed to be constantly surrounded by morons? Hey, the ball of the frame still looks intact. Maybe I can reopen it and fix this. Oh, you can get us back? I can get me back, and then continue with my plan to summon the Emperor to our universe under controllable conditions as intended, yes. What if I don't want you to do that? Do I look like someone who gives a hot crap what you want? Go away, go die in the void. Gee, somebody is cranky. Okay, Molly, you can do it. Hey Molly, I don't suppose you got any ideas? Well, sugar, usually my plan A is bullets and plan B is more bullets. What's plan C? I never needed plan C before. I never met anything that couldn't be shot with bullets before, but, She holds a necklace Nancy gave her. A single Tommy gun cartridge is engraved, Nancy plus Molly forever. I think this is one of those situations where the power of true love vanquishes evil, that kind of thing. Well, I wasn't gonna say it like that. Shoot it. And this is it. And finally our TV works. It sounds cliche, but love truly is the most powerful force in the universe. If it has a gun. After the metaphorical smoke cleared, he found himself stuck in a weird extra-dimensional space where the final showdown happened. He waited and waited and waited. Murray's bomb blasted him past the borders of reality. He drifted outside of the world for a span of time that might have been 5 minutes or 5,000 years. The only way to be sure is to not press a key for 5,000 years, then you'll know it was that long. Yeah, I think I'll pass. A few weeks later, Jessica accidentally activated the failsafe and the interdimensional homing teleporter Murray had left in one of his desk drawers. She was looking for a pen. You and Murray were wrenched through the ether and unceremoniously dumped onto the floor of the antique store. After spending a reasonable amount of time patting one another on the back, you started searching for the next eldritch horror on Murray's big list of cosmic threats. The world is always under existential threat if you know where to look, and Murray always knows where to look. Thanks to your mob connections, Murray has a lot more meat at his disposal than he's accustomed to. That should make the next old guard easier to deal with. Dumbledore did a brisk trade until the end of Prohibition, at which point it did an even brisker one. Obi decided to leave the hobo slide behind and just play the oboe full time. When they started televising underground bare knuckle boxing, Gabby got really excited and joined a league. Her combat style was a mixture of different martial arts that came to be known as super weird fighting. Sounds about right? Molly and Nancy went on to become the most notorious bank-robbing duo in history. Yeah, I can see that happening. They were last seen somewhere in Bolivia. After spending a few years catching up on the latest scientific developments, Professor Adams rebronzed himself. Thanks to your tireless crime fighting, the streets of Ocean City have never been safer. Yeah, King Johnny got the camp loaded into the ocean, with Samuel and Agamemnon doing most of the heavy lifting. With the wind at the backs, they set sail for distant shores. Thanks to Ovid and Croesus, the expedition was comfortable and well-funded. Sure, it got boring at times, but wholly entertaining folks with his harmonica, and Dusty brought a deck of cards. Whenever anybody got scratched up or seasick, Doc was there to provide some medical attention. I still wonder how the hell these things didn't sink, but fair enough. The nights were cold, but between Beatrice's Hole and Calendula's moonshine, everybody kept pretty cozy. Some of these names are: they ate creamed fish thanks to Walter and Creamy Steve, Cornelius and Beanie provided cornbread and beans, Mossman provided fine herbs and exotic spices. After a long and difficult journey, they arrived at the land they had promised to themselves. They founded a new nation, a nation of hobos, by hobos, for hobos, with liberty and justice for hobos. Marvin went on to set the world record for mailbox sitting. He held the record for nearly a week. He has recently become interested in flagpoles. Okay. The bishop's inspection went swimmingly, and the vicar of St. Polycarp was soon promoted to vice pope. With that whole grisly murders business behind her, Miss Brewster went on to win the Boarding House of the Decade award from the International Salesman League. You're welcome. Crystal's store was moderately successful, but she was confident in about 40 years business would boom. Greta wisely invested all of the meat you spent at her store and eventually expanded into a nationwide chain. 70 years from now, the historical village of Sandwich is still a popular tourist attraction. It's particularly popular among mixed-up hipsters who get it confused with Sandwich, Brooklyn. Josie Morton went on to discover a new extremely volatile isotope of hypercrystalline thermomorphic diorite. with which she eventually invented the devastating weapon that brought about the end of the Skeleton Wars. History mostly remembers her for what she said after the weapon's first successful field test. "I am become Death's Death, the destroyer of skeletons." I don't think that is how it worked, but fair enough. To this day, they still refer to Acadia pesto and mushroom omelette as the Vivian. Clem and Jarvis Schultz evaded capture by adopting the aliases Jarvis James and Clem Barnes, respectively. After Prohibition ended, they had a long and illustrious career in the getting people drunk industry. In 1908, Mudhenge was acquired by the Stonehenge Corporation, renamed Stonehenge Mud, and shut down. Not surprised, in 100 years, you were the only non-nudist to find its center. With your help, Randa Rasmussen became the first person in history to fly all the way around the swamp. Her fame lasted until nearly a month later when Charles Lindbergh was seen buying a new set of shoelaces. Frogger Hain turned Hain Quarry into an ecologically responsible workers' collective, which did quite well. He spent most of his share of the profits on fast car sandwiches and open-minded women. The loss of Tom and Kathy plunged Latimer Barton Sons into a succession crisis. In the chaos, the bastard Reboner returned from exile and made his claim to the throne. Paul Letters used his new tongue to preach non-violence and counseled many a troubled youth away from a life of big game hunting. To appease his brother John, Letters agreed to read a book on pacifism. In time, the wreck of the longer fellow was swallowed whole by the swamp. The boat may be long, notice longer than nature's mouth. We helped a lot of people. The kid with glasses spent a week bragging after he proved his theory about big hands. Blind kid will happily wear Mossman's mustache for the rest of his life. You're welcome. Oops, I missed one. The radio kid still proudly wears the fatty bra from Barbara Yagra. Sorry, one kid. You will not have your stuff read out. The kid with the red still tells stories about the time you captured the Chupamaranja. The fly girl is still grateful for the chest hair you brought her from Flamberg. In case I guess we skipped the will of the wisp, or more like the smell of the wisp. Will Hunter moved to international waters to escape federal prosecution from marble fraud. The Molras place remained uninhabited until the 1990s when it became a hotbed for swinging sexy singles. With no natural predators to thin and numb Mac Milliken-Cuddy's sheep bred out of control, he went on to become the region's primary supplier of both mittens and mutton. Despite all your efforts, the maze may stay pretty much exactly the same. Unfortunately, forever. Billy made sure of that. The workers at the Ford compound were able to get the factory machinery back up and running. After months of research and hard work, they were finally able to make a car entirely out of beans. It smelled awful and nobody would buy it, so they ended up abandoning it on the streets of Ocean City. The old ham mill kept spinning until Howdy Howell was snubbed for another Pulitzer 3 weeks later. Rufus emerged from his portal somewhere deep underground. He didn't know where he was, but he knew he was one step closer to settling. That was all that mattered. The end. And that's it. The credits of Loathing. That's it. Like I said, I love this game. I wanted to play this after West of Loathing, but then other games came up in my roster and I kept pushing this off for later and later and later. And yeah. But now I'm finally making up for it. And like I said, I'm pretty damn happy that I managed to share this game with you. And hopefully I managed to give you a couple of laughs. Because I think all the Loathing games have this kind of absurd humor that somehow hits you right in the face with an extremely straight and deadpan expression. I don't know about other people, but I know for sure that I love this kind of thing. So, That's why I decided to share it with you, plus another game for the channel. So, I hope you enjoyed the series and that you had a laugh. So, without any further delay, that is all for today's episode and for the entire game series. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and as always, I will see you next week with a new game in a new video. Have a great one.